play is about what is happening to our beloved NHS. And the background is the story of a family, two of whose members are making use of the NHS. And so we see them at home, and we also see them in the hospital. A lot of it takes place in hospital. It appeals hugely to your emotions because your empathy, of course, is called upon in the family and the hospital scenes. But it's also very funny and indeed very moving. And along the way, almost without you realizing it, it's rather like when you're a child and your mother gives you a sort of spoonful of jam with a pill stuck in the middle of it. Do you know what I mean? That you don't realize you've swallowed the junior aspirin. That you get a huge amount of information. And we do get the most amazing reactions from the audience. I mean, they laugh and they cry, but they also gasp. I don't think we actually had any idea how huge the reaction would be. We've all, of course, have done an enormous amount of reading around the subject, but also while we were in rehearsal, we had several people who were experts, journalists, doctors, ambulance drivers, etc., experts in the field, to tell us actually what was really going on. So that was tremendous. Any audience, every single member of that audience will have had experience of the NHS, whether as a patient or working in it. But when we've had predominantly NHS workers, it has been for us overwhelming at the end. I remember one lady who was in tears, and I saw her afterwards in the foyer, and she said, "You're talking for us. Nobody has spoken for us." She was a nurse. The reaction is, interestingly, pan-political. That is to say, it doesn't matter whether the person having the experience votes whichever way he or she votes, because the love and the caring for the NHS seems, in most instances, to override that. And when people realise what, over the last 20-odd years, has been happening covertly by successive governments, they are shocked. This push to privatise the NHS is incredibly dangerous if you think what has happened to all, to our railways, to our postal services, to our, for instance, our telephones, etc., etc. This is virtually the last public property. And in each case, it has been not good news for us, the public. Next year is an election year. Now, you can get in touch with particularly if you have an MP with a marginal seat, you can say to your MP, where do you stand on the NHS? I think we've become very despairing in this country about how we can make our voices heard. And we need to be reminded that we can, particularly, with the wonders of IT, because we can be heard just like that.